Always fun. We got to make sure everything's rolling.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go. Good stuff. All right. Okay. Q, check on the old X for me, sir.
Waiting on it now. I don't see nothing yet.
I'll give a good old countdown before we start here in a second.
All right, we're good.
We're good.
We're live.
Live and in charge. Here we go. I got 5 second countdown in five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome Home Podcast. I'm your host, Famously Garnet, and I'm joined by my co-host Q.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
And in today's episode, we are also joined by the DJ, the man of the hour, the man of every Gamecock men's basketball, the one who's spinning on the ones and twos, DJ IAM. Welcome to the show, my guy.
Well, on, fellas, thanks for having me on the show, man. Happy to
Yes,
be here.
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes,
man.
sir. Yes, sir. So you already know how I start things off. You got to tell the people what you're about, who you are, where you're from, how you got to where you're at, man. Tell the world everything, bro.
Okay. I was born in North Carolina, Fayetteville. North Carolina. I was born and raised in Fayetteville. I moved out here in '98, so I was kind of. I grew up a big Tar Heel fan. I grew up watching Jeff Capel play basketball at Southfield High School. So he went to Duke, but I was a group of big Tar Heel fan. Moved to South Carolina, and we didn't understand the whole USC situation. But as I got older, we understood that you got the Gamecocks and you got the USC in California. But yeah, I always been musically inclined. Played drums in the church with my dad. Even in high school, I was always the guy that everybody came to for for mix CDs. You want a mix CD? Holler at Adam. Adam make you a mix CD. And that kind of like transitioned for me to DJing as I got older. But that's kind of where it started. Um, group in the church, so playing drums. So yeah, it's kind of where like started my whole journey started with DJing, just being musically inclined and
Okay.
things like that. So
Dope, dope, dope. And so, as another person who grew up in the church, what what drew you actually to the drums? Like, what made you be like, yo, this is my instrument of choice. This is my, this is what I feel, it be my choice.
my pops played the organ, so it was kind of naturally that he played organ. I'd be on the drums with him because it was I'm a daddy's boy. I was running my pop, so it was just fun being in church with him, grooving out, whatever. So that's kind of how I grew to the drums.
For sure, for sure. Okay,
Mm.
okay, okay. So now you're the DJ for the men's basketball team, right?
Yes, the men's
So
team.
tell us how, yeah. So tell us how you got to that point, man. Definitely tell us how you got there.
So um, I've been doing like sports for a long time. Like whether it be high school sports, Chick-fil-A Classic, the Bash. I did during my high school for like 6 years, football games. Of course, Richard football games. I did their football games as well. So doing all those sport events, I just kind of like I learned how to add to the sporting arenas atmospheres. And at the time, the girls team, is that right to say the girls team or women's team? They had a I don't want
Hmm.
to get it wrong, but they had a DJ.
Yeah.
I don't want to defend them, so I don't say women's basketball team.
Yeah,
They
I
had
understand.
a DJ at the time, and the guys didn't have anybody. This is on when during Frank Martin was there. So I just sent an email out, man. I sent an email out to who I thought was the right person at USC to be a DJ, and I sent it to the wrong person. Sent it to the wrong person, but that person sent it to the right person. So that's how I knew it was that's what happened. So in that we had conversations back and forth about coming along the next season and just seeing what that would look like because they never had a DJ before for the men's team. So I think it was Frank's last year when I first started doing the men's basketball games, and so it was a tough kind of year. Um, because the team was like on the borderline, and trying to add music to
Yeah, it
add
was
to
a
the
rough year.
atmosphere. It was hard. Like it was times where they want the crowd hype, but it's like, what can I play to hype a crowd up when you're down 15? So
That's a good point. That's a good point. And so that definitely leads me to my next question. Like, how do you kind of maneuver through, like, because I think this year was a good example of it. So
oh yeah,
there were
very good.
times that we would have the lead and then it kind of dwindled. And while it was dwindling, as you know, because you've been to enough South Carolina games, once the fans are out of it, like, it's hard to bring them back in it. Like, you gotta do something to ignite them and bring them to it. So what have you learned throughout the years when it through the good and the bad times, how you manage the crowd when it comes to your music?
Just being a sports DJ in general, I've learned just to stay consistent. Like, don't do anything you don't normally do. Um, with the crowd base for the men's game, it's very diverse. You have the alumni, you have students, you have a lot of families compared to other sports. So the songs that I choose to play, I just have to be very just consistent and neutral with a lot of that kind of stuff. But um, that the songs that always get the crowds going, the jock jams, the trick daddies, let us go, things like that. The songs that the people can sing, I go for. But it's definitely hard to add to an atmosphere when you know it's dry.
Sure.
That's a good point.
I get
That's a,
that. I can understand that. And it's funny when I first met you. It was at SC Pro Am, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect. It was the first event I basically ever covered when it came to sports. And Ja Morant was in the house. This is just right after the NBA draft, and a lot of great names were in the house. Man, it's like, wow, this is an event, and that place was jumping.
Yeah,
And buddy, you were in your element. You know what I mean? Like you were in your element then, and like in the pro, like the Chick-fil-A thing. I mean, all of that, and you always put on a show, man. You've always put on a show through all of these different events, and you got a point, man. With that dry atmosphere, I mean, there's not much you can do with it. You know what I mean? Like, and you've seen that program change, especially you.
yeah, definitely. I think like with doing like the pro-ams and doing Chick-fil-A Classic, like you find like these certain pockets sometimes, especially when it's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And like so, like say for instance, if I know a team's from DC or teams from Florida, I will play songs that I know that are like are known from that area. Just to help the players might feel a little something extra. You know what I'm saying? That kind of
Right.
helps the whole atmosphere of the arena or the stadium, whatever. It makes it a
Yeah.
little bit more edgy, I guess you could say.
And I
So,
noticed you show love to local artists as well. That's something that I've seen you do before. Feature these local artists to like, hey, this is so and so's track right here. Let's work and you play it, and you show love to them, man. Like that's, hey, bro, 803. I mean that is true love, man. Like that's awesome. Like I said, you doing that, highlighting, showcasing, other talent that somebody may not hear, right? Somebody may have
right.
never heard before, and sometimes it takes one listen, and for somebody you never know where they're gonna go, man.
Exactly.
You never know.
hmm
I think it's important just to be like a platform for artists in South Carolina because there's a lot of good talent down here. I remember
Hmm.
one game, Trey Hannibal was at LSU. He's from Hartsville. So Trap Dicky
hmm
was happy to be at the arena, and I didn't know he was there actually. So of course I'm for USC. I'm not for the opposite teams, but I knew Trey for a long time. Good kid. So it was to where like during reviews, I have a little more free will to play a song. You know what I'm saying? Low, but I have more free will to play a song that I might not normally play. So I played Blue Devils by Trap Dicky, and then like Trap Dicky was there. He heard it, recorded and everything. His kids was there. They heard it, so that kind of made him feel proud that his song was getting played at a big game. You know what I'm saying? At a critical point in the game as well. So that was a cool moment that I think that happened with just being able to support South Carolina artists as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
Absolutely, and that's a great thing. And you know, before we hopped on the show, you talked about your background with Gamecock basketball, and you were there in the early years, right? During the not so fun years, right? Not the not
Dave
so fun
Odom.
years at all. You had a guy that could not recruit to save his life, but you had one of the best, guys you've ever seen play ball come through Carolina. Talk about what that was like, for you then.
I love basketball, man. I love hoop. I always wanted to play basketball in college. Obviously, I didn't enough to be a college athlete, but I always wanted to be around basketball. I even did when I finished high school, I played under Coach Combs, and Combs was a manager at USC under Eddie Fogler. So he suggested, why not you try this out? So I went to a summer camp and I worked the clock. I met Torrance Kinsey, coolest dude ever. Balkman, coolest dude ever. So I was like, I want to be part of this. So I want to be part of this. So I got just I was a manager. I was a water boy at the same time. I understood that taught me about just serving others and just being a star in your role. And I saw some great coaches, Dave Odom, Rick Duckett. Saw how they coached the teams, and seen some great players come through USC at the time that just are good people. So I being a manager, it's looked down upon sometimes because you're beating up towels and underwear and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's all about you learn how to serve others, and that was important that I learned that at the time. So that was cool. Now in manager getting NIL money now, so I wish I could have been a manager now. Get some NIL money.
Gotta have the aura, man.
Carry a
Man
boom
came
box.
out the woodworks. He came out.
Carry a boom box, man. I get
Man
some NIL money.
came out the woodworks, man.
That's
Yeah.
the last. That's
I,
the
I tell
last
people
thing
all the
they say.
time, bro. If YouTube was around, man, when we was growing up, oh,
Mhm.
it'd been over with. We all would have been some millionaires, bro. We all would
Definitely,
have been some millionaires, bro. That would have been the time. So now that you have this as your craft, like, what is the what is a typical like week for you when you have to like? Because I know you have to stay up to date on music, you have to stay up to date on the trends, on all those different things. So what's the grind like with that? Because I know that that's also something you have to put time in and put a lot of effort into as well.
definitely. So doing sports, you gotta be very prepared for in game situation. So I have two laptops that I use, one for just DJ, one for like sound bites during the games. Um, a lot of people don't know, like we get a script, I guess, of like the TV timeouts and things that go along during game days. So during the weekend, I'm looking at my script, seeing what my timeouts are that I have to play. If it's like a dance cam or rattle toss, I'm making sure I have those songs like queued up or and ready. If it's I have a play a song for the dance team, I'll make sure that that's queued up and ready. If there's a performance or halftime, I make sure I have that music as well. So preparing, it's a lot of preparing going into just and DJing, not just going out there and playing songs. I really have to prepare ahead of time, and
Mhm.
a lot of songs are they're clean. I have to extra clean them sometimes just to make sure I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want nobody to be online. Say I went to the game. I heard this crazy words, whatever. So I
Sure.
make sure that I make sure all the songs I play are super clean and it's family friendly for the most part, and just preparing for the games.
Yeah, I mean,
I like
that's the
that.
thing. A lot of people don't think about is the preparation that it takes to be a DJ, right? You're not just up there playing
Mhm.
songs the whole time, and you gotta, like you said, I mean, get into the trends of everything going on, right, with the music, where it's going. Let me ask you this now: do you ever have any of the guys specifically request any kind of music, like the guys on the team? Have they ever hit you like, "Hey, man, can you play this during the game or something?" They have.
Yeah, so I'm making my point to reach out to the players in off season and get an idea of what they want to hear during warm ups because
There you
I
go.
feel like if I'm playing what they want to hear, then they can get in a good groove and win the game. So I'm making my point to reach out to whoever the team captain is at the time and say, hey, what do y'all want to hear during warm ups? And like some game, maybe it'll be a big game, they want to hear a certain song. A lot of times, I have to find it, clean it up because sometimes it's an artist I've never heard of before, and like they have a song on YouTube and it's nowhere else. So I have to go on there and clean it up myself because Little Chucky is what they want to hear during, you know what I'm saying, before a game. I'm like, who's Little Chucky? But
Right.
I figure it out, and make sure I can play it for them, where they can hear it during the games and get hyped. So I want them to win. I want them to be successful. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And I think that leads me to my next question. When you're interacting with the players, with the fans, with the coaches and everything, what are some of, like, if you can name off five things, what are some of the biggest things you've learned throughout your years of doing this? And as times have changed and as people have come along, what is like one of the five biggest things you've really learned, in this spot that you're in now?
uh, I definitely learned one, just be myself. Like don't do too much. Just be yourself. Um, I've also learned like some pre games. If I play some hype music for a lot during the pre games, during when opposite team is playing or practicing whatever, they'll get too hyped. They'll start missing shots in the first half. They'll miss a lot of shots. So I make sure I play all the hits for this 20 minutes while the team was practicing whatever. Because there'll be shots during the game. Um, also learn just talk to everybody. Like say it low to everybody. Be nice to everybody. When I'm DJing, everybody comes talk to me and say what's up. Just say hello. Just talk to them. I learned just to be a nice person, and it gets you to go a long way.
All right. You said it. It's funny when you act right to people, right? You
Yeah,
acknowledge people, you treat them right, and like your family taught you, right? And you do that, you open these connections. I mean, Q and I, we've seen it, we've done it, right? And you've done it. It's just, I mean, just what, a couple weeks ago, you were out there DJing in Charlotte.
yeah. I'm doing Charlotte FC. And that's all because of
Yeah.
of doing doing a football game. The
See,
guy
See?
the I did a game versus Kentucky, and that game like when I first started doing like a lot of sports, so I was doing Dorman High School for like 6 years, their home games. And in that 6 years, their home games, they were undefeated. They didn't lose not one home game. So I feel like sometimes, like not being superstitious or anything or being cocky, but like when I'm DJing, sometimes I feel like I can have an advantage because I can help the atmosphere of the game. So like I can play some songs the kids want to hear, and it's going to help them win the game. I remember getting a text one time from a AD, and he was texting me. He said like play some hot stuff so they could get the crowd hype. So I'm like,
mm,
okay, like he wants me to affect the game from the DJ side, which is kind of wild, but you know what I'm saying. But and it works sometimes. But in doing the game for Kentucky, um, that whole day was just a great day. You know, so it was a great day outside. I got pulled up to the parking lot. My ride's there to pick me up to go to the actual stadium. I get up there, I'm looking like, dang, like this is Willie B right here, empty, but still like I'm up there. It's like, man, I'm about to play for all these people. If I be nighttime, if I be lit in here. And then of course, there was Darude there as well. So he was there doing his thing on the it got part DJ and whatnot. So the opportunity to be able to meet him. I got my chains on, I got my Mary hoodie on, so I'm fresh,
yeah,
fresh,
well,
fresh.
fresh.
I'm feeling good, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling
That's what I'm
good.
talking about. Now that's what I'm talking about.
I'm
That's
feeling
what I'm
good.
talking about.
Yes, I'm looking good, feeling good. And then it's like, man, it might be game time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about to be playing for all these people. I prepared for it, you know what I'm saying? It's an opportunity. I'm in the big leagues now, you know what I mean? I'm playing for the UC football game on ESPN at night, under the light. So whenever it was go time, I had my headphones on. When I hit the sandstorm and the crowd just went nuts. Like I mean, my heart was beating, the stadium was shaking. I'm like, bro, what the world I got myself into? That is, I do not want to mess up now. Oh,
But I
it
tell
was
people, I tell people all the time, like, that's one of the most underrated, like, not even like outside of it. William Bryce is a very underrated stadium in general because I tell people all the time. I was telling my fiance before our first time we ever went to the game. First time
Mm,
we ever went. We went. Her first game was Old Dominion, and so I told her, I said, hey, just so you know, this stadium will get to shake if things if things go right. It will start shaking. And she was like, no, it's not. It's not gonna shake. After we had third down and we had just taken the lead,
mm,
and Dylan Stewart went across there and hit dude, and Cal got the sack, or Dylan stripped the ball and Cal got the fumble recovery, and it started shaking. She was like, "Oh my god, it really shakes." Like you see, and I said, "I told you."
yeah,
And,
sometimes,
and
yeah.
and all she wants now is a night game. And I said, I told her, I was like, I don't know if you're ready. Like a night game is
Next
a
level.
sold out. Is something. Is it's a different animal. It's a different beast. And when you look back at games, you know the best. I think the biggest night game I've ever seen was definitely that 2012 Georgia game.
Mm.
That
Mm-hmm.
2012 Georgia game is deafening. The next closest one was that I want to say that was that 2013 Clemson that was 2013 Clemson
Yeah.
where with Taj. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
2013 Clemson when Taj Boyd's mom. I'll never forget it, man. And love her to death. She was a nice lady, but never forget she was in the concourse because Clowney and them were killing him that game. We're
Mm.
killing Taj, and she was in there like screaming at top of her lungs. Well, they blocked for my freaking son. Like I don't understand. Oh my! And she was going. I said, I'm tired of the noise. I'm tired of. And she was going off like I think the Clemson guys came down and like took her. I think to a suite or something, so she could, like be away from the crowd. Oh man, it was getting bad in there because she was like, I can't hear nothing, I can't feel nothing, because it was crazy.
Mm.
And that's how I feel like all sports could be like, because that Tennessee game, Lamont's second year, that Tennessee game, like that was probably one of the loudest times I I've seen it on TV. Now that Florida game, I was at the Florida game
Kentucky game
that
too.
year.
Where he rushed the court.
That
That game was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That
telling,
game
there were
was nuts.
some games, and that's why I tell people like you everything plays a role. And I think people don't understand how important that DJ role is, man. Because at the end of the day, you can't miss a beat. You genuinely can't miss a beat, bro.
Mm-mm.
Like if
I
you're off, it can throw off so many different things, bro.
Yeah, another good game that I know I messed up at. So it's a game we play Alabama. So Brandon Miller had just got like freed of all the allegations or whatever.
Oh
GG's
yeah.
GG, you know. So like that game started off. So I was told before that game, don't play any songs that have gun lyrics or anything like that, right? Because
Which makes
Brandon Miller,
sense.
because we didn't want the fans. I mean, some
Mm-hmm.
fans came in there like some jumpsuits and everything. So it was
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
Even like during the
Wait,
game,
so that's true. Wait, so they actually had on like
jump.
jumpsuits and all that
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah, the
they turned
students
around because
did,
they
bro.
would have jumpsuits on. It was one
Oh wow.
fans they were fighting in the stands. A couple fights happening in the stands about the fans, whatever. So that game started off hot. We started off hot that game. Gigi was going crazy, making some actual pro moves. I was like, okay, he ready to go pro. He's doing his thing, and then Brandon Miller just wakes up. So at one point, like as a DJ, I had I think it was a timeout, and I remember when I played Grove Street, right? Grove Street Party, Blocker, and I had to host it because I think it was a after a big three was made, or Michi Man made a big three, whatever. And so I played Grove Street Waka Flocka song one night, and
Yeah.
as a DJ, sometimes you want to change songs to
I love
something
that
else
song.
that's also more hype. So I mean, I'm rocking out. I'm doing, yeah, it's a party. But like, I know I don't want to play this song the whole 2 minutes, of the timeout. So I blended in pipe with Migos, and like the crowd just kind of like went, I'm like, oh man, I messed it up because like I had the crowd hype, but then I just kind of like bust a bow because I played a song that I thought would work, but it really didn't work. So in those kind of situations, I always got like my backups where I play like a Zombie Nation, or I play
Mm-hmm.
even Sandstorm, something like that. I could get the crowd back hype for the timeout horn sounds. But I kind of time I remember that time I remember where the crowd was just rocking, and I kind of like played the wrong song, and they weren't feeling pipe it up. They weren't feeling that.
Now a game, I feel like you played a huge role. We didn't capitalize on it, but I feel like you played a huge role to get us back. Was that Mississippi State game this year?
because that was a long
Because if
game.
you remember, we were down. That was a long game. We were down
Mm-hmm.
like double digits with like under 10 to go. And I remember at the under 10, I want to say you played. I'm trying to remember what you played.
I'm trying to remember.
It was. I'm trying to think. Do you play? You played Travis? Was it Travis Porter?
Handsome and wealthy, maybe.
I think yes, yes. And so
Oh,
I remember, and I was in there. I was like, hold on, okay, we kind of vibing. So then after the under 10, we cut it. I want to say to 5 or something like that. And so then you hit us with a dog. You hit us with like one of the. It's like top 3 hype songs. Um, I think it was never. I think it was
okay,
never scared.
okay, yeah.
Yes. And so when we did never scared, I remember like that was like, okay, bro, we gonna be back in this. Like,
Mhm.
I remember the crowd was kind of starting to feel it then, and it started really getting there. Now, granted, we went to overtime, we lost, but I remember how you kind of ushered it a little bit forward. Like you was ushering it forward, bro. And that's why I say it plays a pivotal role, man. I think it's an underrated thing that people don't understand of how important that music is because kids nowadays, that's what they vibe off of. Everything they do is it always ties back to music, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Always ties back to music.
I
And so I think that's a big thing.
I got to tell you, when I was at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, right? They had two teams, right? The American team and the national team. Well, one team would practice with music, right, blasting, having a good time during practice. During the whole different scrimmages that they would run. The next coach, though, he cut it out. He said, "No, no music." So you heard coach talk, you heard the players, yapping, jawing at each other and all this, which was fine. I love the best of both worlds, but I was surprised, honestly. I'm like, look, man, like, how are these kids like getting up and going, right? The funny thing about it was the guys that didn't have music, right, were some of the ones that did the best in the draft. Obviously, I'm not saying that has anything. There's no correlation there. I just thought it was funny. Kyle Kennard, obviously Demetrius Knight, and of course TJ Sanders for South Carolina. All guys that went really early in the draft, and then of course the other guys. I think out of all the first round draft, or excuse me, all the draft picks in the first round from the Senior Bowl, 5 of them were from that team that didn't have music. So it was crazy, man. I'm like, how do you figure like no music? Like it threw me
That means
off,
they're
but
crazy. That means they're really crazy. That's what that means.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you. But like I said, I enjoyed the best of both worlds. It was great. But I agree with you, man. Like the music is everything. I mean, you could talk to the players during practice; they'll tell you the same thing. It's like that's what
That's
gets them
facts.
going.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
I mean, in general, when you're working out, right? Going to the gym, running, walking, whatever you're doing,
Some
it
of those
gets you
songs
going.
get you through the workouts.
It does on the road.
What I will ask though, on that Kentucky game, what was the loudest moment of that game? Because I mean, that was a struggle year. Always that was that was a rough year. Um, you had that Florida game took the wind out of
Oh
fans.
yeah.
I'll never. I'll be honest with you, DJ IAM. I've never seen a group of people be so hurt until I saw after that Florida. That took that took spirits that day. That took souls.
They winning the whole
Florida
game.
that because we had them the entire.
The entire game. And then we forgot how to get past half court.
Yep.
Like the
Yep.
fundamentals of basketball, just being able to don't pass the ball in the corner because you're going to get trapped. The fundamentals of basketball, they just forgot those. So,
I
yeah,
tell you, man, it's
I've
frustrating.
never seen so many turnovers in my life at one moment.
right.
That
And
that was that was the part that I didn't understand. It was like just the turnovers and that was the first time I ever seen Lamont as mad as he was. Like I've never seen like
Mm.
Lamont. As you've seen
no
Lamont, he's
skill.
very
Still
like
good.
game day. Like he's pretty even kill. That game, I remember seeing in his eyes like the the hurt he was of like, yo, we had this game won all the way until that ending point, and so like what was that experience like, bro? Because
Yeah, it looks like Q froze over there. Yeah, I mean, talk about more about that experience. On during that game.
Man, I feel for the guys because I mean I watch them like I watch them win games, win big games. So when it happens like that, when things happen like that, it's like man, I know like the littlest things that if they could have changed, they would have changed it. And from a DJ wise, I can play to make them not turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? That I can do to
Yeah.
help that out, or even like with the crowd. Like I think with Gamecock fans, it during the season, it comes to a point where okay, they're locked in. So I feel like the first like 7, 8 games, they're just kind of filling it out. So when it's the time to play Clemson, okay, we're all here now. Everybody's here. We want to see
Mm-hmm.
what's what. That's kind of the time where okay, we're gonna have a good crowd. You'll get to play some songs to get some reactions, and hopefully they win the game so that we can have some good juju going moving forward, and whatnot. But in games like that, where like, man, what can I play to really affect the situation when okay, you're down two or you're up two, 5 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pressure on me sometimes
yeah,
to play something that's not Sandstorm, that is a song with words that I can get people to sing. So I mean, it was a time when I think it was like during Frank Martin's last year where like I would play like Wagon Wheel, and it's obviously a slow song, but it would have the best reaction because everybody in the stadium knows those lyrics.
Sure.
So like it'll be weird to me because I'm like, this is a country song, it's a basketball game, but literally everybody's singing Wagon Wheel. It's like really weird because it's a
I ain't gonna
sport
lie.
event.
They had nothing. We had nothing else to do at the time, man. It was what it was.
Yeah, that's true
Uh,
too.
No, it's just a rough time, man. It was a rough
Yeah,
time, but
yeah,
okay.
there's that Darius Rucker connection.
yeah, I
The
guess
wagon wheel, of
he's
course.
yeah. Alum and all that stuff. But yeah, but still, like you think come to a game you're gonna hear Wagon Wheel as a sporting event, like you don't think that's gonna get played, but
Yeah, I agree.
This isn't West Virginia. What are you guys doing?
right, exactly.
All right. So, out of all the sports, what's your favorite sport to like attend? Like, if you didn't have to DJ, what would be your favorite sport to just kind of attend and watch?
I go to a basketball game. I love hoops.
Oh, so
I
it's all hoops. Like it's
I go to pro games now. I watch the Hornets. I go to the Hornets to see who they're playing. So I go to Hornets games to see the other teams. Make sure I
makes
get me
sense.
a close seat. Because I enjoy hoops. I enjoy different offenses. I enjoy different players. So I'm basketball to the core.
Well,
I like that.
yeah, and with you being as close with Ridgeview and all that, that there's been some dogs in football and basketball alone out there, especially recently in football. South Carolina just got Jordan Gidron, wide receiver, out of Ridgeview, and even AC Whaley out there. He's a trainer. He's obviously got really great connections with Ridgeview. You've probably seen him multiple times out there, I'm sure.
Mhm.
I will say this though, with basketball, the future of high school basketball, what does that look like for South Carolina? Do you have any look in there as far as what the future of basketball looks like for high school basketball in South Carolina?
I mean, clearly at Ridge, you have the two of the top upcoming seniors with
Mm-hmm.
Yale and Corey. You
Mm-hmm.
got CJ, is coming. RJ coming up too as a freshman. RJ Davis. So you have a lot of the best coming up right there at Ridge. That's kind of how it's always been. Is though like the best will always
Hmm.
come out of Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
even
facts.
like if you look at it now, like a guy like Malcolm Wilson, like Malcolm, good guy. He's transferring, from Queens. He led
Mm-hmm.
the nation in blocks. Like that's always been like a staple at Ridge is just having good players, good guys. So the future is bright. Like Michael's gonna be a pro, and these two those guys gonna be playing college, and so
Yeah, in high school athletics, I think in South Carolina football, basketball, it's about to get really interesting for the nation. If you keep these guys home, which has been the hardest task forever for South Carolina because of who's around you, right? UNC, Duke, all these other schools around you. these blue bloods, it's hard to keep somebody home, right? I mean, you look at Seventh
Right.
Woods, right? You look at Gigi. Gigi originally committed to North Carolina. Obviously, he had a change of heart, came back home. It's just it's not easy keeping people home. It's not. And you look at the talent that has left the state. There's a lot. There's a long list of those, right? You look at Felton, right? He left the state. I mean, you've got a long list of guys. So if you keep these guys home, right? Cam Scott, obviously, he hit the portal, came back. We'll see, what happens with him and his development. But you keep these guys home, you see what happens, right? C and B,
Right.
right? That's a guy who came back home, right? BJ
Gary
Mack, another
Dozier,
guy, right?
Sendarius Thornwell, Justin
Darius
Mackey. When they
Thornwell.
stay at home, good things
Mm-hmm.
happen.
It's a
Good things
long,
happen.
long list, guy. I mean, you
And it's
just got to
proven
keep your talent
facts. Like
home.
it's proven.
You ain't
When you
lying.
guys stay home, you just and lock in and buy into what coaches got going on. You can go
Mm-hmm.
places to the
You
Mm-hmm.
Final
sure
Four
can.
even.
Man,
So
I know that was a crazy year. Now that was a year. Boy, that was a year. That
2017.
was a year. That
Yep.
was a year. Just think we could have really had if Sendarius doesn't get sick, boy, we
If
really could have had a men's and win.
If Felder actually ran the play too, that last play, if he actually ran that play instead of
You
Yeah.
doing
ain't
his own
lying.
thing,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
that's
we
what I
actually
always
have
like.
a
I'm like,
we have a championship.
why he not run the play? Like he did his own thing,
Ah,
and then
I
that kind of
forgot
messed it
about
up. But
that.
yeah, Sam being sick didn't help as well. But they had that game, man. They had that. They walked them down. It was right there. It
If
was
we don't
right
want
there.
to, and that would have been the first year in a long time both the men's and women's won a title
Right.
the same year. We
Carolina
had that.
right.
Man,
Those
that was
random
rough.
schools.
Yeah, we had it too. I was like, bro,
March,
we're
March,
there.
March Madness, man. That's March Madness for you, though.
Yeah, it is. It is, man.
It was a
It
fun year,
is.
man. It was a fun run. You look back at that, and there was only one team that we didn't blow out. Really, it seems like, and it was Florida, right? The Florida game was close, but Duke, Marquette, Baylor. I mean, South Carolina blew all those teams out for the most part.
Yeah,
Handled
Yeah.
handled Duke. They blew out
They were
Marquette
some
and
dogs,
Baylor.
man. They were some
Mm-hmm.
dogs.
It
They
was a
were some
crazy
that was
run.
a good
dogs.
year.
It was a crazy
Dude,
run.
that was a crazy year. PJ Dozier,
Yeah,
like Dwayne
Dwayne
noticed, like
noticed. My
man,
goodness.
imagine if we would have gotten a tournament the year before with sending them. That would have been, I think, that would have propelled them a year before that. That would have propelled them to that year. Like
Right.
I think we would have won it all the following year because
Mm-hmm.
sending them would have had the experience in the tournament. And even with a loss, they'd have been like, all right, we know what we got to do. We could come back. Let's make this thing shake.
Right.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
that would have propelled them to the natty. Like
Yeah.
that would have been a
I've
natty.
been it, man. We got some more guys coming in and making it, even better.
Yeah. But I think I like Lamont, especially his coaching. Love his coaching. I think Lamont now he's getting guys. I think he's gonna be all right. I think he's gonna be all right.
I think he's seen what actually works with his system, what players work. I think
Yeah.
he might have learned that it's not a plug and play type of system, not plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-mm.
whenever guys are bought in,
Mm-hmm.
the system works. I mean, it was shown it works.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
and
And
this,
you've been
especially when you have pros.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've been
I
around the
think Michi
program
coming
as
back.
much as
Michi's a pro for sure. A guy that's
Mm-hmm.
not scared of the moment. That helps a lot. I mean, of course, we're excited for Eli, see what he does on the next level. Um, a lot of guys transferring in might have something to prove. You know what I'm saying? So
Correct.
that's always a good thing. And I just think we're missing a big. If we can get a good big in, I think we might be can do some things for sure.
I mean, the doors open. I mean, it's open for a return from CMB. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
Holland
that door is
Holland
it's
is lottery NBA. He's
it's.
not coming
I
back.
know, I know. It's like I said, it's
He
it's
gone.
open, but it's like that,
He's
right?
getting his
It's
suit.
like
He's
that.
getting his suit ready for the green
Yeah,
room.
you
Yeah.
you ain't
I
playing.
I think
You
I
ain't playing.
think I do think like looking at the team this year, a lot of like you have a lot of fitting Lamont system type players,
Right.
Mm,
especially when you have like literally two guys under 6'5", which would be Michi and Eli on the team. I can see a tournament bid team. The way Lamont coaches, because you got to think, even last year, That man had Auburn beat
Beat.
with that squad. Had them beat. Had Florida beat.
Yep.
Like literally beat. And when he went to Florida, we had the lead, and Florida just clamped down this again.
Yep. Yep.
You had so many different times that's why I said Lamont's best coaching job was last year
Definitely.
because he showed you he could be in any game at any given time at any given place. So now you have guys that can run his system. You have I don't think there's anyone that can't shoot the three on that team. And he's going so that 5 out 4-and-1 situation, he's going to be able to do what he needs to do. And you got some guys on there that can lock down and play some serious defense.
Right.
So you're going I can see it. I think he's gonna go postseason next year. I can foresee the postseason next year. Now, I do think it's also going to be determined how who can step up and be off that bench and give us some good minutes as well.
Right. That part
Because I
too.
think that's something that hurt
Mm.
last year that we'll need this year. So you got guys I do believe that can make it happen. So I'm intrigued on what next year will look like, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
excited
I'm
too. I'm
intrigued.
quite excited to play music too for the game. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see them actually, succeed because it's hard sometimes when you lose 10 in a row. Like the
Absolutely.
morale, you can tell
Absolutely.
that a song won't make a difference at all. Like you can play some
Sure.
of the songs like the ear, but you can tell, man, this ain't gonna be
Yeah.
one of them games because they don't care right now. They not into it. So
Right. I'm
I
intrigued.
mean,
I'm intrigued.
the moments when you can, the moments when you can't, right? Then you've had a lot of moments when you can, though, man, and
yeah, definitely.
you've already experienced a lot of fun, man. Let's be real here. You've experienced a lot of good games, right? You experienced the winningest season in South Carolina basketball history. Last year, right?
Right.
You witnessed that. You witnessed South Carolina
Rushing
being
the
able to.
court.
Yeah, I mean, I was with Trey Kelly at that game, the Kentucky game, man. Him and I were there together, and like it was insane watching that next to him because like you could just feel the emotions from him, right? Like watching it with his son,
Mm,
and then it happened, and bro, like let's be real, like we had that game all the whole time. Like we had
definitely.
Kentucky in that game, bro, the whole time.
Every
So it
time
was fun.
Coach Cal comes here, we have his number, man. He quits coaching every time he comes to South Carolina for some
Mm-hmm.
reason. He just sits down because
Mm-hmm.
we have his number.
Yeah, I mean, look at Arkansas. Look at
Right.
Arkansas. New team,
He
same
sat down.
results.
He sat down and do everything. Had his
If
number.
CMB wasn't hurt, we beat Arkansas in the SEC tournament
Oh
too.
yeah,
But I
definitely,
mean,
definitely.
that's just it's just one of them things, man. It's just one of them things.
Oh yeah, no
So,
doubt.
but appreciate you, bro. I do appreciate you, man. I
Oh,
appreciate
shit.
you jumping
No
on,
problem,
man. That
man.
this was dope. This
Yeah.
was dope. Like you could tell your passion. You could tell how much it means, and you could tell how important the role is. And so, bro, I'm looking forward to games this year. I can't wait to get out there and see you at the games, man. Now that I've talked to you and everything, it's gonna be good to actually
Come
see you
holler at
out
me, man.
there at the
Come
games. So
holler at
yeah.
me. Come drop me up sometime. Come holler at me,
Oh,
man.
for sure, man. Oh, for sure.
Over
Oh,
there.
for sure.
I'll be in the corner, in the corner down there. Just come holler at me, man.
I got you.
Sure.
Now,
I got you.
now before we wrap this thing up, now you've done a couple women's basketball games, right? Are there any in the future that future talks are you doing more in the future for next season at all? Have you been in discussion about that?
Yeah, I'm basically a backup for women's games.
Okay,
Those games are another like just
it's different.
it's different, man.
It's different. I
It
know it. Yeah, I know
it's
it's
different,
different.
but it's a fun, different like so. When I got to do the game, I did a Sunday game. Senior night was on a Sunday afternoon, so
Hmm.
I'm thinking in my mind this is a day party. So I'm just playing like just some. I'm playing just cool
Like brunch music. Like
like brunch
brunch
music,
music.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah.
crowd was really into it. Even pregame, like the girls. So I didn't know this before I started. I didn't know it before I got that day. But the girls have their own song they want to hear while they're warming up. So each girl comes out and they want to hear. So first, the Chloe want to hear Adele and Alicia Keys. So I'm about to play Adele songs, Alicia Keys songs. Another player wants to hear a nice R&B. So I'm playing Tyrese, Sweet Lady. I'm playing Genuine. But like, it's it's
It's a whole
weird,
different
but like,
vibe.
but the vibe is still there. Like this is
That's
lit,
all.
kind of lit though, kind of lit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
When other players
it's like
come
a
out,
brunch vibe, bro. It's a
it's
brunch
fun
vibe.
vibes. So, like as I'm going up to there's a time equivalent for the crowd to come in. I'm just gonna play like just more like just fun '90s music songs, and like man, it's like this is a good time. So when I was able to play during the game, it's obviously a close game. It's a good game. The crowd's lit. I play boots on the ground. You know, the crowd's doing boots on the ground, dance and
Hmm.
things like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, their fans definitely more. Uh, I don't want to say fun, but they're more engaging. I guess you could say. It doesn't help
Sure.
that they're winning the game, of course, but they're definitely more just engaging. So you can play a lot of different kind of music, not always rap songs, a lot of R&B.
Hmm.
You can play at those
Hmm.
at those games and just really affect the atmosphere.
That's
I
dope.
get that. I get that completely, man. I've been to a few Dawn Staley games last year, and you can just tell the vibes are different on Sundays.
Yeah,
Especially on Sundays, right?
yeah.
So
Football is a straight club. Like it's a straight club of football games. You get to play all the
Oh, it's a
young
club.
boys, all little
Do anything
babies.
you want. Yeah, you
It's
playing
a
all
straight
that.
club
Yeah,
vibe there.
yeah,
yeah.
Football is fun.
it is, man. I enjoy those games are just different, man. Just completely different. I noticed last year, or a couple of years, I think the year before that even, they would have like players playlists, and they have a player on the big screen, the jumbotron, right, and then they'd have the song that was playing. So I know they're
Mm,
doing that. So I do like how they do things of that nature, kind of engage, you for example, with the players at that point. So that's really cool stuff. Now, tell everybody where they can find you, man, if they're looking to hire you for an event, because you do weddings, you do these different events. Tell them what you do, man. So, if they need a DJ, they come looking for you.
definitely. You go to my Instagram. It's I am the DJ. That's my Instagram. And I am the DJ now.com. It's my website. Go on there, go to the booking page, and hit me up on there as well. So
There you go. There you go. And, you've been doing it for a while, right? Since 2010, that was right. So,
yep.
my man's got a lot of experience. You're getting the best of the best out there. So, if, like I said, you're looking for a DJ, hit them up. Hit them
Hit
up. You
me
already
up,
know.
man.
You already
Make
know.
some memories. Make some memories for
Yes,
sure.
sir. Hey,
That's it, man.
I tell y'all, go follow him on Twitter as well. I just did earlier today. Man, go follow your boy on Twitter, man. Go follow the boy on Twitter. So,
I'm pretty funny on Twitter. I think I say I'm
yeah,
pretty funny on Twitter. So
I'm looking for. Hey, keep me entertained. I love when my timeline's entertaining.
yeah,
No, that's great stuff, man. Well, appreciate you having on, man, jumping on the show with us. It's been great. Something we've been trying to do for a little while now, and finally be able to get you on. Tell your story, and for people to know more about the man behind the mixing table, right? You don't know, and now
yes, sir.
they know the people know. So maybe you'll get a couple more hellos. Hey, how you doing? The kind of thing, right? Come say what's up. So
Man, come talk to me, man.
do it.
for the people. So for the people, just come talk to me.
Go see my man. Go see him. At the game. So he's an open book, man. He'll talk with you. So, like I said, I
Definitely, yeah.
appreciate you on the show, man. We
Thank you
appreciate you,
guys,
hopping on
man,
the
for
show.
sure. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
it's
man.
dope, man.
Well,
This was dope.
yeah, and we'll definitely we like getting our guests back on the show, so we'll definitely look at having you back on. Maybe next season, or maybe during the football season or something. We'll come up with something. Maybe before basketball season, we'll talk a little basketball. So we could definitely look at doing something like that for sure. But
Cool with me.
like I said, we could do it, man. We could do it. Well, guys, everybody, we appreciate y'all tuning live at the Welcome H Pod on Apple and Spotify, listening to Welcome Home Podcast on Apple and Spotify. Appreciate y'all watching the show live on X, Facebook, and YouTube. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and as always, at Facebook, YouTube, and X/Twitter at 7:30 Monday and Thursday nights. Guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We will see you next time.
Peace.